The awakening of ruin. The bunker groaned beneath layers of ash and time. Earth, once a blue jewel of civilization, was now a radioactive husk sealed under quarantine protocols. No species dared land on its surface, not because of lingering radiation, but because of the warnings etched into orbiting satellites. Do not disturb the grave of mankind. But something stirred. Buried 4 kilometers beneath the desolate remains of Colorado Springs, a stasis chamber flickered to life. Cracks split the darkness as the chamber hissed open, expelling frost into the stale air. A voice echoed through the sterile chamber. Revenant Protocol Alpha 1 initiated. Subject: Captain Darius Kane. Status: active. Darius gasped as air filled lungs long and used. Muscles tensed. His eyes snapped open, and with them came memories, flashes of burning cities, orbital firestorms, the Council's verdict of extinction. The last war. The last stand. The last breath of humanity. Darius collapsed to the ground, naked and trembling, but only for a moment. His training reasserted itself, pushing pain aside. Revenants didn't break. Above him, a soft voice spoke again. Good morning, Captain Kane. I am Nyx, your assigned AI. Earth is dead. Humanity is gone. You are the final asset of Project Revenant. Darius didn't speak. He simply stood, took a deep breath, and accessed the control panel. Flickering holograms projected maps, logs, satellite feeds, all frozen in time since the fall. He reviewed the last moments of Earth, orbital bombardment by the Zarthans, cities incinerated, final broadcasts cut off mid-scream. The Galactic Council had called it a cleansing, a necessary act of peace. Nyx continued. Your mission remains unchanged. Survive, retaliate, and make them remember what humanity was. He nodded once. How long have I been under? 123 years, Captain. Darius clenched his jaw. Everyone he knew was dust. The galaxy had moved on without them, but it had made one mistake. It had left him behind. He retrieved his armor from the vault, a matte black suit layered with adaptive plating and neural links. He moved like a machine as he donned it, each motion efficient, precise, a weapon slipping back into its holster. Once fully suited, he emerged from the bunker. The Earth was dead. Red dust swept across skeletal skyscrapers. The sun glared down like an uncaring god. He scanned the horizon. A Zarthan reconnaissance ship hovered in low orbit, likely here to confirm the anomaly. Perfect. Darius stared up and whispered. You wanted peace by erasing us. Now you'll learn what war really is. He activated his armor's stealth systems and vanished into the ruins, headed for the ship. One man, one ghost of humanity. But inside him burned the fury of 1 billion dead souls. The galaxy had forgotten the cost of provoking Earth. It was about to remember. Empires remember why they feared us. Zarthan patrol ship Velterra, low Earth orbit. The crew was bored. Their orders were simple. Maintain observation over a dead world. Ensure no salvagers or scavengers trespassed into the sole quarantine zone. For over a century, Earth had remained silent. Just another tombstone among many. Until now. Commander, one of the helmsmen called out, his tendrils twitching nervously. We're picking up residual heat blooms near the North American continent. Energy spikes consistent with old Terran power grids. Commander Threx clicked his mandibles. That's impossible. Earth has no functioning systems. Nevertheless, we have movement. Subsurface. Deep level. And now there's nothing. All readings gone. Threx approached the screen, leaning in. Sent a drone down. I want visuals. The drone launched without issue, descending into the atmosphere. It scanned ruined cities, scorched deserts, and finally, what remained of an old Terran military complex buried in the Rockies. Then, without warning, the feed went black. Drone destroyed, the helmsman said, his voice tight. Impact velocity suggests something shot at mid-flight. Plasma bolt. Terran in design. Threx's stomach turned cold. Raise shields. Prepare. He never finished the sentence. The lights on the bridge flickered. The ship's AI screamed warnings as internal systems went haywire. One by one, compartments went dark. Then the screams started. Darius moved through the corridors like a shadow. The Zarthan crew never stood a chance. Their advanced security systems were child's play. Their soldiers, slow and predictable. He broke necks with silence, disarmed 3 guards with one fluid motion, and hacked the control room within 7 minutes of boarding. Bridge secure. Nix reported through his neural link. Ship systems responding. I'm overriding in AV locks. Darius stood among the bodies, breathing steady. The air stank of ozone and alien blood. Upload the latest star maps. I want targets. Fleet positions. Council movement. I need to know what they've built in our absence. Done, Nix replied. And Captain, you might want to see this. A hologram flared to life before him. It showed a map of the known galaxy, now with the Council's territory stretching across over 70% of systems. Dozens of human colonies now marked extinct. Earth labeled Preserved Hazard Zone. Do not enter. Play back their broadcast, Darius said. A message from over a century ago played, featuring a Valari senator speaking at the Galactic Council. Let the destruction of Earth be a lesson to all primitive species. The human infection is eradicated. Let peace reign for 10,000 years. Darius watched in silence, then spoke just 2 words. Start recording. He stood tall in full armor as Nix activated the ship's broadcast suite. All across nearby systems, a message interrupted comms. You erased my people. I remember everything. I am the last of Earth's wrath. I'm not here to survive. I am here to make you remember fear. In the council chambers, the message hit like a supernova. The Valari senator dropped her chalice. The Zarthan general stood frozen. Across the galaxy, one phrase began spreading like wildfire. A revenant lives. And for the first time in 100 years, the empires trembled. The War of One. The galaxy called it sabotage. First, a Zarthan dreadnought exploded mid-warp, its core ruptured by an overload no one could explain. Then a Tachyon data archive vanished from orbit. Its contents wiped, facility melted into slag. Within days, Valari supply chains collapsed across 3 sectors due to cascading system failures. No one had seen him. No cameras captured him, but they all knew it was him, the human. Darius sat in the cockpit of the Vindicator, a sleek, obsidian-black warship stolen from a rogue Valari engineer who had once studied Terran war doctrine with admiration and fear. It had taken Darius 2 days to infiltrate the Valari core world and claim it. Now, the Vindicator was his scalpel. His message. Target acquired, Nix said calmly. Fuel depot in Sector 17A. Critical node in Zarthan logistics. Deploy drones. No survivors. 6 autonomous strike drones launched into silent space, cloaked precise. The station was obliterated in under 30 seconds. 3,000 Zarthan dead, Nix reported. Darius didn't react. He didn't blink. Mark their deaths. But we're not done. He leaned back, letting the dark of space surround him. The galaxy thought it could erase humanity with orbital fire and political decrees. But humans were never just bones and blood. They were fire, memory, rage, and Darius was all of it concentrated into one relentless will. Across the galaxy, fear turned to obsession. The Galactic Council reconvened under emergency protocols. Dozens of systems had gone dark in less than a month. He's not just attacking, said the Dravit Prime strategist. He's destabilizing everything. Communications, supply, morale. We're unraveling from within. Then kill him, the Valari senator shouted. With what? The Zarthan general barked. Conventional forces can't even track him. He controls his own ship, his own drones, his own damn legend. The Tachyon diplomat stood, adjusting his monocular lens. There's something you don't understand, he said grimly. This human, this Darius Kane, he was not just a soldier. He was one of their revenants, designed to be unstoppable, trained to win wars alone. A cold silence settled in the chamber. Elsewhere, Darius watched the footage. He had hacked the Council's private feed 2 days ago. Everything they said, he heard. Every plan they made, he crushed. Your enemies are fracturing, Nix said. Some Council worlds are already rebelling. They believe your symbol. Darius gave a bitter smile. I'm not a symbol. I'm the blade they buried and forgot. He uploaded a new message to the galactic net, broadcast to every system in open rebellion. The empires that silenced Earth thought we'd vanish without a sound. But I am a scream in the silence. Rise. Burn them. I'll be watching. Rebellions ignited overnight. Civil wars flared in half a dozen systems. Darius sat in the dark, watching empires bleed from the inside. One man, one war. The galaxy was beginning to understand. You can kill a species, but you can't kill vengeance. The fall begins. The galaxy burned, not from invasion, but from within. 6 major council systems were in open revolt. Dozens more sat on the edge of collapse. Supply chains ruptured, command hierarchies dissolved, and entire fleets went dark as mutinies spread like wildfire. The chaos had a single origin, not an army, not a fleet. A man, Darius Kane, the last human, had become the spark of annihilation. On the bridge of the Vindicator, Nyx's voice echoed. Tachyon Command reports civil unrest on 11 core worlds. 3 governors executed by their own militias. Zarthan outposts in Sector 9 evacuated. Multiple fleets redeployed against each other. Darius stood before a holographic projection of the known galaxy. Red markers blinked across it. Systems destabilized, capitals in crisis. All without firing a shot, he murmured. Nyx replied, Correction, you did fire 973 shots. Everyone lethal, highly efficient. He allowed himself the smallest smirk. I meant recently. He zoomed in on Valari Prime. Still untouched. Still arrogant. They think if they survive long enough, this storm will pass, he said. They think I'll burn out. Nyx pulsed. They don't understand. You are the storm. Within the Galactic Council's shattered chamber, now relocated to a fortified moon base, panic reigned. The Dravik Chancellor slammed a clawed fist into the table. We must activate the Cataclysm Protocol. That device will annihilate 10 systems, the Tachyon ambassador protested. We be no better than the humans. The Zarthan general snarled. No, we be worse. Because unlike them, we failed to finish the job. They all paused as a shadow fell across the chamber. Holographic interference flickered, then cleared. A single figure stood in the center of the room, projected from nowhere. Darius, clad in matte black armor, eyes glowing with tactical readouts, voice cold as vacuum. You wanted peace? You murdered peace. You called us monsters and made yourselves gods. But gods don't bleed. You do. This is not vengeance. This is justice, with interest. Static crackled, then silence. Council members looked around in horror. Darius had bypassed their most secure systems. Again, worse, some of the guards were smiling. On the Vindicator, Darius watched multiple council fleets begin turning inward, ships defecting mid-mission, whole battle groups abandoning posts. Nyx's voice chimed in. Civil war confirmed. Galactic unity has collapsed. The age of the council is over. Darius stared out into the endless dark. He didn't feel joy or triumph, only quiet, a stillness born not from peace, but the absence of resistance. They took everything from us, he whispered. Now they've taken everything from themselves. Nyx paused. What now, Captain? He turned slowly toward the center of the bridge. Now we finish the story. He uploaded a final message, set to play across all remaining council frequencies, pirate networks, and rebel transmissions. I'm the last human, and I am the last reminder of what happens when you push a species too far. You feared extinction. You should have feared survivors. As the stars turned crimson with rebellion and fleets cannibalized themselves, one man drifted silently through the chaos, watching the galaxy collapse. Not as a conqueror, not as a savior, but as the final echo of humanity's wrath.